Reasons to stretch your goals. Hello, happy Friday. It's time for a weekend challenge. This episode 345 of the Marketing for Owners podcast with me, John Butt. And every Friday, I give you something different to think of, because in a week, we've had our expert interviews on Wednesday. We've had our other tips and bits and pieces which help you create your self-marketing company. I've told you about my free course at www.freemarketingcourse.co. And over the weekend, you've got lots and lots to think of. And while people with normal jobs take the weekend off, in fact, they don't take the weekend off, it's just a weekend. They just work. But us business people, we can always find something to do. And so what I want you to do is not do work as such, but to challenge yourself, make yourself think a little. Think about your future, build for your future, improve your business life, because I'm sure it can be improved in some way. Now, what I'm going to suggest today is, by the way, for those of you that know, get your pen, get your pad, get your piece of paper, pencil, whatever it is. For those of you that are traveling or doing the washing up or doing something where you can't write it down, all of the notes can be found on the website at marketingforoners/podcast/345. And in fact, if you leave the number off the end, every single podcast has every word that's spoken and all the notes and all the links and all that malarkey. So I want you to think about stretching your goals. And the reason I say that, by the way, by stretching your goals, what I mean is more time. We all, or successful people, have goals. That is something that differentiates successful people and not successful people. Those of success not only have goals, but they write them down and they have deadlines. The goals form a purpose in their life. They aim for the goals, and once they've achieved the goals, they set new goals. And they have short-term goals, and they have long-term goals, and so on. But we can hear about goals over and over. In fact, if you tune into any podcasts or read any posts around December, January, they're all about setting goals for the new year. Why do you have to start a new year? Don't know. But it's all about that. And it's the same. Now, most people will think 3 months ahead or a year ahead, and you're chasing everything you're chasing, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So what I want to do is I want you to think in terms of longer term. So number one for this is to get the mindset. First of all, consider how old you will be when you possibly retire. Now, of course, we're automatically going to think 65 years old? Who knows? Generally, if you're entrepreneurial, discussed that yesterday, but if you're entrepreneurial, you will probably not be able to stop working. And if you have a good life and if you have good success, why should you? Your businesses should be running without you at the helm, and you just take the money. Why stop? But let's say 65. Now, how old are you now? Are you 30? Are you 40? Personally, I'm 50. 65 is 15 years away. Now, if you're in your 20s or 30, you're going to think, cool, blimey, what an old git at 50. But it's still 15 years till I possibly retire. And we all know by the time I get there, it's going to be 75 or something anyway. So it could be 25 years. And nowadays, if you live well, if you eat well, if you keep exercise, being 65, being 70 is not such a big deal, not like it used to be. So think of that. That is longer than you imagine. And again, if you're 30, 65 is 35 years away. You're not even halfway through your life. And you've probably left school at 18. You've worked for, 12 years? You've got another 35. That's another 3 times as much work. So why pressure yourself for getting all those goals done in 90 days? The next one is to describe. Point number two, describe your future life. Write it down. Think about what you want. don't just think in terms of goals. Don't say, I want to be a millionaire, I want a Porsche, I want this. Describe your future life. How do you imagine? What do you think? Does it include seeing your grandchildren? Does it include taking your kids and your grandchildren on holiday with you? Do you imagine living your life abroad later on? Describe your life. Think what you want in the future, right? Think a long way ahead. Think what you want. Number 3, foundations need to be built. Okay, so when we talk of goals, it's quite often we're in sprints. I mean, if anyone's read Scrum or knows of the project management system Scrum, you know it consists of a lot of sprints. It's in a rugby sort of terminology. So there's a lot of sprints, and there's 30-day sprints and all sorts. But does it have to be like that? Have you built the foundations underneath? Right, we need solid foundations to get to where we're going to go. And once we get there, we need it to be permanent. We don't need temporary. We don't want quick fix. So in those quick sprint goals, quite often you don't get a chance to set foundations. So think a bit more like that. Number 4, there is no quick fix. There just simply isn't. Anyway, so don't go for it. Don't think, I need to make more money. I mean, I have people write to me all the time. I always invite people to write in. Email me anytime, by the way. It's John, spelt Jon, at marketingforowners.com. Email me with any questions. I actually read and answer them all, and I'm very polite. But people write into me and say, I need to make money quick. What is the quickest way to etc. quickest way to improve my business? And I just think, oh, that's just so wrong. It's not going to work. First of all, if you've got yourself into that predicament and you need to make money quick, how are you likely to fix it? Okay, you're the person who blew it in the first place. Fixing it probably takes some skills. It's going to take time. There is no quick fix. So whether you're building a business, whether you're trying to get to your goals, anything that's quick is not permanent. It's just part of the growing process. It needs to be built on. So remember that. Number 5, very simple. Just give yourself more time. Now, Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach talks in quarters of centuries. He said, think of 25 years. 25 years contains 100 3-month periods. A lot can be done. A 3-month period, 90 days, 3 months. In my business, in my fire protection business, we aim for 3 major projects. 1 major project per month, or we do 3 per quarter. And of course, one project may take 1 week, 2 weeks, another one may take 10 weeks. So we just say 3 per quarter. Every year, that's 12 major projects. If we get them done, that's progress. Next year, another 12. Next year, another 12. That's huge progress if they're the right ones. Give yourself more time. Don't stress. If it doesn't get done this quarter, if you can't get it done, don't overdo it. Push it to 2 quarters, right? There's a long time. Remember me, 50 years old, 15 years till I retire. That's 15 times 4 is 60 quarters. Why do I have to worry about getting it done now? Now, number 6, the last one, is just simply to take the stress off, all right? I would love you to take stress out of your life. We are pressured by what we hear other people doing. Now, you may have listened to my podcast for a long time. You may think, oh, gosh, John, it's easy for you. You're great at everything. Now, and by the way, I'm just saying that because you may think that because I'm giving you tips, you may assume I'm great at everything. I make mistakes day in, day out. I'm also very lazy and also forever very annoyed at myself for procrastinating and not doing stuff. If you could see my calendar, in fact, maybe on another podcast, maybe later next week, I'll show you my calendar. It's horrible, but it's to get stuff done. But I take the stress off. If I don't do something, I'm not worried, right? Just de-stress. if you compare yourself to others, if you compare your business to other what appears to be more successful businesses, you will stress yourself. You will add, you will make yourself worried. You will make yourself feel inadequate. But in actual fact, all you're looking at is what they tell you. Have you seen their bank account? Have you seen their personal stress? Have you seen their home life? Have you seen every detail about them? No, probably not. So don't worry, just de-stress. So that's the general tip, is give yourself more time, stretch out those goals a little more, just still achieve the goals, just give yourself a better time frame. De-stress, take a deep breath, enjoy life. And whilst you're at it, enjoy the weekend. I don't know if it's going to be sunny, I don't know where you are in the world. I'd love to hear, of course, but enjoy. Don't work too much. Do this little exercise. If you want to see more of the challenges, by the way, go to marketingforowners.com/challenge. There are, I don't know, like 50 or 60 of them. Every single Friday we do one. And some of them are great. Some of them, so, but have a little scan through, because some of them I do over and over because I find them quite helpful. And I thought of them. Anyway, have yourself a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
One thing all of my guests have in common is a fabulous marketing system, from the way they set up the website to the way they use social media and opt-ins to build a list and then to email nurture their potential customers until they become a customer, and then to build them into lifelong lovers of their systems. We teach this for free. Yes, totally for free. Go to this site at www.freemarketingcourse.co, and in 12 days you will learn the entire system. It's a piece of cake, nothing technical required. You'll love it.